going, everyone? My name's Jack Billman. I'm just here at Federation Square. I just played my first Melbourne show here, which was absolutely unbelievable. They said it was the biggest crowd that they've had. I'm going to claim that till the cows come home. So the reason I'm here is on tour to promote my single Forever Unbeaten, which I wrote for the late Philip Hughes, which I'm releasing through Ditto Music, who are based here in Melbourne. So it's the first release I've done through them, and I'm really stoked with how they've handled everything and can't wait to do some more stuff with them. So.
Welcome to Simonlivefree TV, and today we're having another episode, and so yeah, we're talking to Lee Parsons, and yeah, he's just going to talk to us about what he does and could help you guys out as well. So yeah,
I run a company called Ditto Music, so we're like an international music distribution company. We've worked with people like Sam Smith, Ed Sheeran, and I started several years ago just a cleaner, and I've kind of worked my way up now to like having an international company, so hopefully I can give some entrepreneurs some tips today if I don't get too drunk.
Awesome. Okay, so just starting off with a couple of questions I've written down here. So how did your company get started?
So me and my brother were in a band, and we were signed to a label, and we toured for about 6 months, like for a single that we were supposed to release, and then right on the day that we were supposed to release a single, we got dropped. So we were like, oh man, what are we going to do now, you know? So we went back to where we were living at the moment, was this horrible like town in England. But we were living in this flat. I mean, like, we didn't know what to do. So we thought, okay, well, we'll put our own single out. We'll release it ourselves, you know. So we looked in the logistics of doing that, releasing our own single. It was really difficult. It was like 2005, 2006. iTunes was quite a new thing back then. So everyone was still doing shop distribution. But we were like, oh, we can't really afford to do shop distribution. So it took us about 6 months to set a record label up and to get our own music kind of on any store at all. We got it on one digital store. The song got to like number 70 in the charts and was a flop, you know. And then we just quit music at that point. We were doing odd jobs. Like I said, I was doing window cleaning, like renting out bounce castles, all these kind of terrible jobs to survive. And then we thought, well, why don't we just start releasing other people's music, you know? So we've spent 6 months creating this kind of platform for ourselves. If our friends came, like we had friends in bands, we said to them, why don't you, instead of getting signed to a label, just release your song through us. And it hadn't really been done at the time, you know. It was like the first time anyone had even thought about doing that. So we started releasing our friends' music. We were doing about one job every month. Like literally, just we made about £10 a month for the first 12 months, you know. And then we knew that January was like the quietest week of the year for the charts. So we thought in September, man, if we could get a band in the top 40, that would be massive, you know. We get loads of press, and we couldn't really afford any marketing. So we found a band in September that had a decent fan base. We put them on pre-order, which means all the sales from September to January would count on the first week. So we sent them out touring. They got like SMS sales. We did all this kind of crazy stuff. And then it was the second week of January, and I remember I was sitting in my flat, and it was about probably half as big as this place. We didn't have anything but a phone line, and it was about 8 o'clock in the morning, you know. Yeah. And the phone's ringing, and I'm like, oh man. And I run to the phone, and I pick it up, and they were going, is that Ditto Music? Because we were called Ditto Music. And I goes, oh, yeah. And they goes, oh, it's the charts company. And we were like, man, we're in trouble, we're going to get in trouble, because we've been cheating all the sales, you know. We had these fake SIM cards, and we've done all this kind of stuff. And we were like, man, we're in so much trouble. I was like, yeah, it is. And they goes, oh, you've got a song at number 12 in the charts this week. Oh. Me and brother are high-fiving and stuff. And then we had the first ever digital top 40 single in England. Okay. First ever unsigned top 40, and it was like a year before any of the major labels had a top 40 with just a digital song. Okay. So that kind of gave us a head start on everyone, really. All these kind of big companies were trying to do it, and we were just like, me and my brother. And then we kind of worked out our business model. That was about 7-8 years ago. And then we just kept going, really, and that was the story of how we started. Oh, fantastic. Sounds crazy.
So how many bands would you have like on the books as to date, like 2016?
We've got about 100,000 artists that we distribute around the world. Okay. We've got some big artists that, you know, we do PR for and marketing and stuff. We just had a #1 in England with a guy called Sigala. I say #1, we didn't distribute it, we just did like some PR and some video stuff for him. So to what we do, we have 100,000 like bands who kind of just go on iTunes and Spotify and the digital stores. Then we have, I'd say, you know, a few hundred artists who we work with on more label services. So they'll pay us to do their radio and their chart campaigns, all that kind of stuff, you know. But yeah, a lot of bands, a lot of phone calls.
Oh, fantastic! That's a lot of people. Yeah. Got that. All right. What is the best advice, I guess, you've been given in like the business kind of sector and everything like that?
I don't know what advice I've been given. We didn't really have many mentors, you know. I mean, the only thing like I was saying to you before, me and my brother we failed as a band. I'd failed as a business before, and we just didn't take no for an answer, you know, on what it was, and we always. We were happy and comfortable being poor, you know. When we were poor, we never spent money we didn't have. If you know what your goal is, right, you can get there. A lot of people they'll have 100 ideas, you know, and they kind of don't. If you just commit yourself to the one idea that you want to do and say, right, I'm gonna set my goal as that. And there's an illustration. It says, like, if your goal's there and you're here, everything you do to push you towards it is as powerful as everything that takes you away from it. So what it means is, say your goal was to be, you know, a TV presenter in Melbourne. You move to Melbourne, that's great, so that puts you there. If you got a job working 20 hours a day at a factory, that puts you back there, so you might as well stay at home, you know. So make sure everything you're doing is pushing you towards your end goal, you know, and you'll definitely do it, you know, whether you're a band or a businessman or whatever.
Oh, fantastic. Great advice. I'm loving this. And I hope you guys are loving it too, because this is like gold. So what would be the best advice to just continuing?
Yeah, I think don't be afraid to fail. Don't get scared when you hit 22, 23 and your friends have all got jobs and cars, you know, because that's the period when you'll get tempted to take a job you don't want, to get a car to keep up with everything else is doing. I didn't even, like I said to you before, I got some nice cars now, you know, but I didn't drive. I didn't even have a license. I was like 26 because I just caught the bus, you know, until I had any money at all. All I wanted to do was the end goal. If you start doing a job that you don't like, you're never going to kind of, you know, fulfill your dreams. You've got to remember, what is the one thing you want to do for the rest of your life? What makes you happy? That's what you should be doing, you know. And whatever else gets don't let anything else get in the way of that, you know. Just concentrate on what you want to do with yourself.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Well, how do people say they want to get in contact with you guys and how you're distributing?
Yeah, so Ditto Music. So what we do, as I said before, if you're an independent artist and you want to get on iTunes or Spotify, or you want us to help you, you know, get a campaign to break the charts, to get into, we've got offices in, you know, we've got 2 offices in the States, 2 in England, 1 here in Australia, and we've helped loads of artists break into different markets worldwide. So you can contact me if you want. It's just Lee at dittomusic.com. Or just go to the website, check out what we do, and if anyone, we're always ready to sit down and talk to anyone, you know, if you need advice or just, you know, some encouragement, you know we are.
Excellent. So there you have it, another episode of Simonlivefree TV, and hopefully this gives you a nice insight in whatever entrepreneurship kind of journey going through right now. So yeah, make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter and all the social medias, and also follow these guys. I'll put the links below in the video, and thanks a lot for watching. Till next week.
You're awesome.